Mmm.
Hey everyone, it's Kayla Ebbe here with the Educator Chipotle Challenge. I'm in Hillsboro, Oregon with 2 Chipotle employees. Who am I here with today doing an Educator Shout Out interview with?
My name's Kari O'Donnell. I'm the general manager at this location. Grew up in Tigard, Oregon. I went to Tigard High School. I went to Portland State University for 2 years and gonna go back starting in the fall. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. I'm Tyler Denmark. I am originally from Tampa, Florida. I went to school out there. I am currently living here in Hillsboro. I went to Mount Hood Community College studying education with a minor in special ed. I got about 2 years left with that.
Ooh, a fellow educator in
Absolutely.
the works and a general manager of Chipotle. And what's your role at Chipotle?
I'm an apprentice.
So he's trying to become an
He's my
manager as
second-hand
well.
man.
Yeah.
He's gonna get promoted soon.
Right on, right on. Well, thank you so much for being here, Kari and Tyler.
Of course.
So, Kari, let's start with you. Name and describe one or more educators who have positively impacted your life and how they've made a difference.
Okay, so the person who pops up first is definitely my teacher. I was a sophomore in high school. His name was Rutschman. He was such a positive influence in my life and in all the other students' lives too. People just knew Randy Rutschman because he made it a point every day to really get to know every one of his students, to learn everyone's name, and really make everyone feel important. He was that teacher that would stand in the hallways, and every single person who walked past him, he knew their name. He'd be like, "Hey Bob, how are you doing today? Hey Jimmy, how's your mom doing?" Like, he was just so great. He really made me feel like he cared, like he noticed me, and like he really wanted to make a difference in my life and my education. So he was super awesome. And then definitely my English teacher, my senior year of high school, his name's Matthew Wilson. He really made me love Shakespeare. And before, I could barely get through anything regarding Shakespeare, but he really made me understand it better. He made it fun. He was that teacher who would reenact Shakespeare scenes, and it was hilarious. And then the next professor actually that I had who made a positive impact on my life, Lindsey Wilkinson. She was my race and social justice professor in college, and it was one of the first classes I ever took in college, and so that class and that teacher really opened my eyes to a lot of injustices that are happening in the world and really made me care a lot about other things than just myself and what has just affected me, but really thinking about other people and what we can do to make a difference. So I definitely am thankful for all 3 of those teachers, and they've all really helped me become the person I am today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Tyler, the same question. Name and describe one or more educators who have positively impacted your life and how they've made a difference.
Definitely. So the first teacher I would like to shout out, her name is Nikeva McCray. She was my teacher in elementary school. A couple of things about her is one, she really just was always there for the students, super happy and always such a positive light and energy. And then also, step team, you were the queen, and I miss going to the step shows. And then the other teacher I want to shout out is Dorothy Caraway. She was my avid teacher from 7th grade through 11th grade. She was amazing, super helpful, just awesome, accepting, open, and really just a great teacher.
Wonderful. Shout out to all those educators. Thank you so much for sharing that. From your perspective as a student, what is necessary to have at school that supports students' mental, social, emotional health, and well-being?
I definitely think that there needs to be more sensitivity training and hands-on training for teachers and counselors for students who deal with mental health issues, and then also maybe like a mental health awareness day where it becomes more of a conversation for all of the students and teachers combined into like one pep rally type style to kind of get everybody talking and more understanding on the subject. It's super important to have counselors who have an open door policy that you feel comfortable with engaging and kind of working through problems, and also teachers as well, having people who are other than just your family or friends.
Great. And Kari, from your perspective as a student, what is necessary to support students' mental, social, emotional health, and well-being in school?
Okay, so making sure that all of the students are able to start off on the same level. So making sure kids aren't going to school hungry. So whether that's having free or reduced breakfast and lunch for kids, who come from lower income households, whether that be having some sort of school supplies hub or donating clothes, like a clothes hub where kids are able to go and pick out school supplies, they're able to get clothes that fit them. Providing more resources for the parents, maybe helping them, giving them parenting classes, giving them English classes. It can be hard to reach out for help, so it's really important counselors have an open door policy. I liked what you said about having a mental health awareness day, just not having so much stigma around it, so that people feel more comfortable actually expressing what they're feeling. And then more resources for teachers to learn about mental illness too, so that they really understand how they can help and what they can do in their students' lives. And really, the teachers should be getting paid more as well. They should be getting paid what they're worth. They're totally affecting these kids' lives. The kids are at home with their parents, and then from a super young age, they're with a teacher. And so I think it's really important that we pick teachers who really care about their students. So we need to be paying them more, because it's not fair to be paying them such a low wage, having them have to have that pressure of buying their student school supplies when it should already be provided for them.
Now, Tyler and Kari, when you were in junior high and high school and even elementary school and now in college, what mental health challenges have you noticed other people dealing with, or you yourselves have experienced in your life or your family?
So for me, I have really bad anxiety. So I get really anxious, and sometimes I'll literally just not want to go to, I would not want to go to school. I would take the bus to school, so I would drive to the bus station, sit in my car, and just not even want to get out of my car to go on the bus to go to school, because I felt this feeling of just like dread and panic of not wanting to go, and it is very overwhelming, and it's something that I've had to deal with. But for so long, I've never talked about it. I've never really shared it with anyone. And if I had, from a young age, been told, hey, like, this is something that people go through, instead of thinking that there was something wrong with me, I think that would have really helped me a lot as a high schooler, as a college student. I dropped out of college after 2 years, and so that a huge reason was really because of that anxiety and that feeling of like just not knowing why, but not having that passion or motivation anymore.
Great. Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. In elementary, junior high, high school, and now college, what mental health challenges have you noticed other people or you yourself have experienced within your family unit?
Okay, so definitely my family has a history of bipolar disorder and anxiety. I have both of those, so growing up it was really difficult for me, especially with bullying that happened all throughout middle school for me. I just feel like there was never anybody to talk to about situations so specific, such as bipolar disorder, that everybody just assumed that it was from one extreme to the next, when really it's not like that. So I feel like just having more education and open conversations about it to make people understand would definitely be helpful for everyone.
So when you say, and thank you both for being so vulnerable with that question, when you say that some people have thought that it's one extreme to the next, like if you were to kind of summarize that, and debunk that myth, what would you share?
Definitely. So for me specifically, it's not where I'm just having a good day and all of a sudden I snap and get angry. For me, it can be a period of a couple of days to a couple of weeks where I'm in a really good mood, and then one thing can happen that'll put me into a really dark place. And so my specific form of bipolar is like that. So it's not so much where like somebody makes me angry and I freak out, where it is so much as once I've used up all of my energy and serotonin, my brain doesn't make any more until it regenerates. So for me, that's how it is.
Thank you. That's helpful to know and understand. What advice would you share with your teenage self, or advice for other students of all ages?
Okay, so definitely get more involved in school. I was one of those people in school who didn't join any clubs, didn't play any sports, didn't do any of that, and I really regret it now. I wish that I had been more involved in things going on. I felt like when I was actually in school, I was more worried about what everyone thought about me, or maybe being popular, or dressing cute every day. But really, I wish that I had formed more like relationships and joined more clubs, done all that. Don't be afraid to get involved. You're no less cool by getting involved in your school and by, going on a sports team or doing painting, or that's what I would tell myself if I were in that position again. Don't worry so much what everyone else is thinking about you, but really figure out what you'd like to do and do it, because that's something that I really wish I had done more.
And when you say like, don't worry so much about what other people think, is that as easy, or like, is the trick like to tell yourself that and you just kind of turn a switch, or like how can you do that?
Oh, I don't know. By just being more confident. I mean, yeah, I guess just being more confident with who you are as a person. But I don't know how you can do that necessarily.
Well, it's a process too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. But for me, I think I was just so concerned with all the things that don't really matter. Like how I looked or what people thought of me, instead of worrying about like what I was gonna do in life later on, or how good of a person I really was, or how genuine of a person I really was.
Tyler, what advice would you share with your teenage self?
I would definitely tell myself to just be true to yourself and don't worry about everybody else around you and what they have to say or think. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. That goes for everybody else. Take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else, because it's you that matters the most. And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anybody else.
When you say take care of yourself, what are some ways that you take care of yourself?
Me just kind of being more open and communicating better with people around me who are there to support me, and then just reminding yourself every day, or however often you need to, that you are important and that you have a reason to be here.
Awesome. Very true. Very true. Kari and Tyler, is there anything else that you would like to share with the class or with educators and students watching?
Yes. So when I graduated from high school, there were a lot of things that I felt like I didn't know, like a lot of real life experience that could be taught in high school or middle school that isn't really focused on. So for example, like when I graduated from high school, I got a credit card. Didn't know much about credit other than what my parents told me. And I was really lucky growing up to have really great parents who taught me about money, who taught me about saving money, how to be frugal, how to save. But so many kids don't have that at all. They actually probably have like the opposite. They have someone who is a super bad example of how to deal with money. So I think it would be good to teach students more about money, finances, making that like a required class, talking more about how to do your taxes, how to save money, how to not get into debt. Yeah.
Awesome. Tyler, is there anything else you want to add?
I just want to say thank you to all the teachers out there that are amazing and that do go above and beyond, because I want you to know that you might not hear it every day, but it is appreciated. And yeah.
Yeah, you guys really do make the difference for all of us. Like, have you had any bad teachers?
I have.
Yeah, but the good teachers make all the world of the difference. So thank you.
And who did you shout out to, Tyler?
Dorothy, Caraway, and Nikeva, McCray. You guys are awesome.
Kari, who did you shout out to today?
So Randy Rutschman, Matthew Wilson, Lindsey Wilkinson.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. And Kari and Tyler, Chipotle, Hillsboro, Oregon. Kayla Ebbe with the Educator Chipotle Challenge. Ellen, get Miss Ebbe on your show.
Ellen, I love you. I have watched you for years. Me and my mom love you. I think growing up as a gay guy in Florida, it was a huge inspiration to see another openly gay person on TV, because as somebody who didn't really understand it at such a young age, being able to see a role model who is respected by millions of Americans is super important. And then, I just want to say your 12 days of giveaways, my mom recreated it this year, so I live in Oregon now, all the way from Florida, and every single day for 12 days I received a package because we are so inspired by you, and we love you.
All right, Ellen, in honor of Ellen, do something kind to help spread love and kindness to other people today. Much love. Keep it real.
Thank you.